What's going on, my crew? This is Jay. Welcome to another episode of Jay's Adventures. And I would like you guys to indulge me for one more episode in the creative area. What I want to do is I want to hash out two different things. I want to hash out an idea for a house in the new area, as well as an idea for a road. So we need to keep in mind that we are kind of limited on our materials just a little bit. So what we're using here is a very basic type build here. If we look at our color palette, we can use either one of these 3 blocks as well as this wood. So when we're looking at a color palette, this is what we're looking at. We can add a little bit of color here and there with maybe lapis blocks. And we also have cobblestone at our disposal to switch out different things. So let's go grab the cobblestone. And because mossy cobblestone is available, we will take that as well. Okay, take a drink. Okay, so with our village here, we want to just start out with a very basic idea of a house. And in the past, what I've done is we kind of come in with a foundation that's sort of a circle, but not really. For those of you guys that aren't aware, I usually go with one window. And we'll do something like that. A stone brick foundation. Kind of a mixture of that our first town and our second town. Then what we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and switch a few little minor details up. If I can find, here we go. Okay, what we'll do, that one actually can't be changed. No, we can change it. Oops. We're gonna go and do this, and then do this. And what that's going to do is that's going to add this interesting little effect here. It doesn't actually take away from the area inside or outside, but it just adds a little bit more of a quaint effect. And we'll do the same sort of thing right here. And you guys will see in a second how awesome that's going to look. Now, what we want to add for variety here, it's just a couple little pieces of variety here and there. Okay. And then we're going to start off with our little blocks here. So this right here is to support the window that's going to be here. I'm not going to actually put any more of these spruce woods, except for right here, possibly. We'll see how that looks. This is for structure. This is for nothing else. This is going to be a 1-story house. So what we're going to do is, I actually need to pick another wood here. Oops, touched the microphone. We'll probably go with oak because that's going to be something that's nearby. And what we'll do every time, what we'll do is we will just kind of go random. And then do a little bit of a mix-up of things here. And you know what? Well, cobblestone wouldn't really look good in that sense. But what we can do is put cobblestone here and there also on the foundation. So the foundation is just a mix of stone. Alright. And then already we want to kind of be thinking about the roof. So one of the things that I don't do very often that I should is to save on materials. Just use whatever material I have the most of to put the whatever I'm going to put for roofing to kind of put that bevel on, I guess. What we'll do for the roof is, why don't we use I'm inclined to start using this acacia wood. But that has to be sort of imported. I don't want to do that. So let's go with birch. A birch wood and kind of see how that looks. Birch wood looks good when we're dealing with blue textures and stuff. So I think maybe that might be a good idea. And I try to, if I can, with these little small tiny houses, I try to make it so that if it doesn't really need a block there, it doesn't have it. So you'll see I skip a block here, I skip a block here, and it lowers the weight, I guess, of the roof. Even if it's just a little bit counts. And then up here, this is where it doesn't matter as much because you can't really see necessarily where things are. And then we're just gonna put this birch. Oh, come on. We're just gonna put this birch right here. And this is where the magic happens, or we get to see how stupid it looks. Not too bad. Especially when we add the little chimney at the top. That's when things are going to start to look good, I feel. I usually throw it right here. Okay, so we'll have a door, probably a pine door. Where are the doors? The redstone? Of course they're in redstone. That's dark oak. We want a spruce door. Spruce door goes right there. And you see we got this little nook up here. And we've got this little thing going on right here. And it makes it look very quaint. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, okay, well, that's nice. Oops, time set 0. Let's add a window in here. And by the way, we're doing a little bit different than we have in the past. I'm going to try 2 different types of windows. We have this, which I kind of like. We have this, which I don't particularly like. This right here is a nice window because it kind of blocks off the area from it. But it allows for there to be sort of a feeling that glass isn't invented, not invented, but doesn't exist because it can't exist yet. So that's kind of what I want to go with. And then this block right here doesn't really make sense. Just the feel doesn't really make sense. So we'll do that maybe. No. This. I don't know. Something doesn't feel right about this block. Maybe it'll just look better if I do this. I don't know. Just doesn't feel right. Anyways, moving along. So that looks nice. Now, what's really gonna set this build apart is when we do the road. So I'm just gonna make up sort of a makeshift road. Doesn't mean that this is gonna be exactly what we use, but let's get some road ideas. So we've got the basics. So cobblestone, gravel, andesite, things that we have been using in the past. But we're going to add a little bit of granite instead of andesite. Stone. And let's get some cobblestone. We'll do some mossy stone. And of course, let's do pine, but specifically spruce wood. I'll show you what I mean in a second. So we're going to do the spruce wood kind of like this, here and there. No real rhyme or reason to it. And then gravel. A little bit of granite. Ton of cobblestone, kind of accent what we have, and then finally just a little bit speckling of mossy cobblestone. Now, I just noticed I didn't put smooth stone in, so we'll put smooth stone in here and there. As you guys know, when we do things like this, oftentimes we think, oh, okay, well, you know, this doesn't look that great. There's no definition. We could add a little bit of definition by doing this. But oftentimes when we place down roads like this, there's really no definition. Your biggest fix for that is putting bone meal in, because the bone meal gives this road its border, that extra oomph it needs to look like a road. Because that's exactly what a road is a flat spot to walk on around here. All of a sudden, our little road, which we need to work on, don't mind it, looks more like a road. So one thing that I'm noticing right off is we've got too many colors. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the granite and replace it just with cobble. Maybe a little bit of mossy cobble. Not as bad. And I think I'm not actually as fond of the logs as I thought I would be, so we'll replace that with the wood. And now we've got a much better road. I like it. Not too bad. Let's just, for the full effect, add a couple spruce trees into the mix. Just so we can really see how this thing is going to look. See, I wish that these instantly grew when you were in creative. That'd be nice. Okay. See, now we've got a nice little quaint house. Okay, so I like it. I like it a lot. I think this is sort of the theme that we're going with. Oh, come on, baby. Work. There we go. One thing that I want to sort of let you guys know about the future. Oh, yeah, that looks a lot better. Let you guys know about the future. We are in very ancient ages. They're starting to become workers in stone and, you know, working on iron and things like that. But one of the things that I really want to work on as a game changer, and we've got plenty of it, is the idea of concrete. Now, we don't have concrete in Minecraft, but what we do have is white stained clay. Oops, not what I wanted. White stained clay, as you can see back there by my old Roman builds. White stained clay looks very nice. And we can also do a darker concrete right here. And then for a wonderful, beautiful block, we can use quartz. Quartz is going to be a little bit more difficult to get, but not as difficult as we may think. Basically, all we need to do is just mine up in our nether hub for quartz, or just go down to the surface and get quartz if we can. But this stuff right here is going to start to be integrated in here and there. The idea of a pillar, I really like. This sort of beautiful feeling right here, and we'll start to integrate even the little feet as a structural integrity. Are we going to go with a classic Greek, Greco-Roman is what they call it, which means Greek and Roman, a Greco-Roman feel like this? No, I'm not going to do a Greco-Roman build, but I would like to sort of add off my spin on different things. So, you know, we might see a little bit of this in a build. But this sort of quaint looking huts and stuff like that, that's really gonna, for the most part, be predominantly for a while, if not for a long time, what villages start off as. And on top of that, later on, we're talking way later on, we're going to start to use plaster. And since we don't have plaster in the game again, what we do have is wool. So we can have this color plaster. We can use any color plaster that we want to kind of make the inside of the house. So you guys have seen this sort of build where you have like a lot of steampunk houses use this. You get the little plaster in the right here, and then what we do is, you know, you add a window or something like that in the middle of the plaster. But it makes it for really nice medieval houses and things like that, which I would argue almost it would look better if we continued to use the stained clay, the white stained clay. This is a similar effect to this. In fact, a better effect because it's flat. This guy has the wool feel. But either way, we'll end up making different architecture and making different things. But for now, this sort of feels really good. I really like it. And then, of course, we'll have some interior decorating to do. But, you know, this feel on the inside, even, it feels quaint. It feels like, you know, you get a little fire going in your fireplace and everything just feels like home. Fit a bed right here, all that stuff. So, anyways, I've rambled on enough. I hope you guys learned something in this episode. I hope you guys have some ideas for me on how we can improve. Different variations of this house can be used. You don't have to use exactly this house. Once we get into actually building these things, it'll look a lot different. But yeah, so I've got some work to do. I've got bridges to build. I've got houses to make. So I better get to it. But until next time, happy mining and crafting.